welcome back for another video. I'm Jasmine, otherwise known as Jazz Monique, and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that you'll enjoy and you'll stay and play with us. If you're returning, nice to see you again. So for all of our returning people, baby, we ain't even finna do this sorry it's been so long thing, because y'all understand that YouTube content creation, as much as I would like them to, don't pay my bills. So I'm working on it. Have a little grace with me. Still a baby content creator, you know. Okay, so now that tangent is over, today's video, I'm really excited about it because I'm going to give all of my tips and tricks that I have for interviews, both for RN interviews and for my nurse practitioner interviews, because those do differ a little bit. So I'm just going to touch on different things that I found to be helpful over my years in my nursing career. And I'm going to share that with you guys, and I hope that hopefully you'll be able to take something from this and use it in your day-to-day, well, not day-to-day lives, but your interviews to help you get that dream job that you're searching for. So without further ado, let's get started. Y'all know I be having my notes because mama likes to stay organized. So if you see me looking down, you already know what it is. So first things first, you got to look for a job. Before we start talking about interviews, you got to find a job and apply to it. So job search. So I'm kind of going to bounce back and forth between like nurse practitioner things and RN things, and I'll make sure that I say which one is for which, or if it applies to both. So in general, for nurse practitioner, when it came to looking for jobs, I started with hospitals that I was familiar with. So the hospitals where I did clinicals at, and this honestly could apply for RN as well. The hospitals that you did clinicals at, where they know you, where they're familiar with you and familiar with your practice, where it is thus far, best places to start in my opinion. So I started with the hospitals that I was familiar with. So either ones I had clinicals at or that I had worked at as a nurse. And then I expanded to hospitals in the area that had good reputations that I was interested in and that I knew were hiring. And then after that, I expanded to Google searches. Now this one is specifically more so for nurse practitioner, because I did not do this with my RN because I had a good amount of hospitals that I knew I wanted to work at. Whereas with nurse practitioner, I had a little more flexibility in the fact of like, I'm at the terminal part of my career in terms of like, I don't plan on going to school after this. I don't have any kids yet. So I was like, you have a lot more flexibility, girl. Like, you're not trying to go back to grad school, because I knew I kind of wanted to go back to Ohio because I was like, I need that in-state tuition. But yeah, just, I feel like I had a lot more flexibility with nurse practitioner than I did with RN. So that's why I expanded to Google search. And even with the Google searches, you got to sift through them, baby. So if you don't have time to sift through the ones that are actually worth it, maybe stick out the Google searches. But even just, you know, hospitals you're familiar with, and asking your friends, people that you go to nursing, that you either go to nursing school with or went to nursing school with, for nurse practitioner, other students that you know that have applied to other positions. Ask your professors. Like, these are all people that are about to become your colleagues because you're about to enter the field that they're already in. So please utilize all of your resources. So step one, search for a job, find a job. Also, specifically for my nurse practitioners, my neonatal nurse practitioners, in search, and I'll put the website link in the bottom up under me. Yes, very, very good resource. That is actually how I found not my job that I have currently, but the job that I almost took instead of it. So yes, very good resource, and I'll do a separate thing about that if you guys want. Next, we're gonna talk about the interview process itself and what that experience was like for me and any advice that I'm able to offer to you all. So first, the interview process in terms of questions for nursing school and for nurse practitioner, they ask similar questions in a sense. Tell me about a time when you faced a challenge or faced difficulty. Tell me about a time where you had to work on a team. Tell me about a time where you didn't perform up to your standards. Very general interview questions, just sort of trying to assess your skills. So I'd say just brush up on you could just Google nursing interview questions, brush up on those, and just sort of try to prepare something in your mind beforehand about how you would answer those. So next, I would say, after you think about your sort of pre-made answers to those questions, also be ready and confident to talk about your strengths and your weaknesses. Like, I want you to pick out 3 of each and be able to bam, 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 like rattle them off and say them confidently. And I tell people, you always have to do the thing where you find a weakness that's actually a strength. So I usually tell people, like, I am very self-critical. I'm very hard on myself. And like, yes, that's a weakness, but it also shows that I have a very high attention to detail. So you see what I'm saying? So, you know, find your strengths and your weaknesses. Again, another thing, great Google search, like good weaknesses for job interviews. And these are things that I will do before every single interview. No matter how many times I've done it, I'll just I'll go through this process to sort of refresh and prep myself. So then that way, when the interviewers ask me questions, I come off very calm and collected and not off guard. So yes, definitely thinking about strengths and weaknesses. Next, think about your leadership aspects. So for me, it was thinking about how, as a nurse practitioner, I would be able to show my leadership skills. And for me, I personally am a lead by example type of person. So I like to know how to do things the correct way. And I like to show my team members that I am here to support you, and the fact that anything that I'm asking you to do, I should know how to do it. I should know how to do it. And be willing to assist you and help you do it if I am able to. So yeah, definitely thinking about different leadership aspects. Some people lead by example, other people lead by verbally giving orders. Like, they're very good at dictating and delegating to people. Thinking about those leadership qualities and which one of those aspects play to your strengths, and then try to highlight that. Other things that I think that I would talk about, something to really just think about, especially for my neonatal nurse practitioners. So not just general, I'm specifically talking to my NNPs. NNPs are always working on a collaborative care team. So think about what are strengths that you bring to a team. Think about how you work in team dynamics, what things you offer to a team, what things you would be able to assist with. Sort of like, don't only think about your strengths, think about how your strengths can help the team dynamic as it already sits. And this is something that I feel like is very important and can be really useful in your interview. So a question that I always ask interviewers is, what are things that you feel like you're currently missing in your team dynamic that you're seeking that I may be able to offer you? Because I think something that I really want all of you, and I challenge all of you to think about, wherever you are in your journey, it is becoming less about what you can offer to the job and more about what your job can offer to you. So when I was seeking RN positions, nurse practitioner positions, before I got the one I got currently, what I was looking for is, I was like, I want to go to a hospital where not only am I going to be in addition to their team, but also they're going to be in addition to my skill set and my knowledge base. I made sure to verbalize to the people that were doing my interview that I would like to be in a space where I'm going to be supported as a new practitioner, as a new learner, and you all are going to help me to become the best practitioner that I'm willing to work to be. But also on the flip side, once I've gotten the knowledge base, once I've gotten the skills and I'm a little more confident in my skills and you all are a little more confident in my skills, also having the discernment to give me the autonomy that I need and that I desire in this position, in this role. You know what I mean? So yeah, think about those leadership qualities. Think about what you're able to offer their team dynamics, as well as what their team dynamics are able to offer to you. Because I think that in this journey, we're constantly looking for stepping stones as opposed to looking for milestones. I think of stepping stones as transient all the time. Milestones seem a little more stationary to me. Like, you get one milestone, then you get to another milestone. But that doesn't mean that this milestone and that milestone aren't as important. Stepping stones to me implies that none of these steps really matter. They're just trying to get me to where I'm trying to go. You see what I'm saying? So yeah. So I don't want to make this too long, but I would say the last things that I would like to leave you all with in terms of job interviews is, one, ask questions. The questions that you want to ask them. Now, maybe don't ask about salary as the very first question. I know you want to know how much they're going to pay you too, because that's usually my first question, but just ask some other questions first. Ask some other questions about the position, what it looks like. You could ask them about the day-to-day roles. A very good question that I always ask interviewers is, I ask them, what is something that you think that somebody who is new in this position is going to struggle with? Like, tell me what's the hard part about this job? What's the part of this job that people come in and they're like, wow, this job is great, but this one thing is the thing that I'm really struggling with. That's what I want to know. Before I sign up, I want to know what that one thing is, or what those three things are. That's what I want to know. So definitely that's a very good question to ask. And then be yourself. Yes, you want a job, and yes, you want money. However, you also have to show up to this place every time that you have to come to work. So you kind of want to like it, at least a little bit. And you kind of want them to like you as well, because dynamics and rapport at your workplace matter. So yes, just be yourself. Be confident in yourself, in your skills, in your knowledge. Fake it till you make it if you're not actually that confident, but it works. Last thing I will say, and this is more so important for the nurse practitioners than the RNs, because I have not seen this as much in like my RN experience. If they're offering you a job, do not be afraid to advocate for the things that you feel like you need or you feel like you deserve. So, and what I mean by that is, for nurse practitioners, you're gonna have interviews and they're gonna offer you a salary. see if the salary is up for negotiation. If it is not what you were hoping for, whether that be too high, too low, see if they're open for negotiation. Or if you were looking for things like student loan repayment, relocation funds, tuition reimbursement, like these are things that may not be readily offered to you, but the places where you're trying to work may have them available and they're waiting on you to request them. My philosophy, baby, is the squeaky wheel get the oil. So squeak, 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 squeak. Do not be afraid to speak up and say, hey, I need this. I would like this. Okay? Okay. So with that, if you guys cannot hear, my fur child is in the background begging for me to please let him in. I hope you tune in for the next video. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, want to give me a shout out, please reach out to me on YouTube, Instagram. Please, I'm real friendly. I love to talk to y'all. Also, P.S. shout out to my girl Kiana, who found me. We met in person and she told me that she followed me on Instagram, and you know, she follows my content. So if you seeing this, hey Kiana girl. But again, y'all be safe, follow your dreams, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Thank you guys again for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. See you next time.